Allumage des EAP et décollage.
Good afternoon, welcome to Space News TV. I'm Peter DeSelding with Space News, and our guest today is David McGlade, CEO of Intelsat, one of the world's principal satellite fleet operators. Dave, good afternoon, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Peter.
I guess the first question is, on everybody's minds, is when will you do an IPO? Why not tomorrow? Markets seem like they're ready for it.
Well, I'm not so sure that the markets are ready today. It's been a choppy year. And what we've learned over the course of the last several years is that you look for windows to open, either in the debt markets or in the equity markets. So I'm pleased that we're being patient, we're looking for the right moment to do whatever we do. It could be an IPO or it could be some other kind of merger. We have a number of options, we'll keep them open until the time comes.
What kind of merger would you be talking about as an alternative to an IPO?
A merger where we could get growth, potentially help us delever, and find that as a catalyzing event to bring our debt levels down so that we have a good position in the equity markets long term. Currently, we're just under 8 times EBITDA with our debt, and that's on a pro forma basis with the $1 billion that we just raised in the high yield market.
Do you see any advantage of a fleet operator owning its own manufacturing line?
It's not ideal. It's not something I would support necessarily for our company, right. But if there are other strategic parts to it, then maybe there's a reason to do it.
Understood. Hosted payloads.
The National Space Policy, which was just published by the President on June 28th of this year, expressly said that they support hosted payloads because, one, it gets timely access to space and the economics are there. We are looking for a payload on every satellite where we can accommodate that. It's actually a wonderful way to support our commercial business.
Is it fair to say that given the CapEx peak that the major operators, including Intelsat, are in right now, more satellites are going to be launched in the next 3 years than presumably in the next, the 3 years after that?
I think it's fair to say, and it's a valid point, that we go in cycles in terms of procurement.
Maritime broadband. Never knew there was so much business to do in the oceans, but I guess there is.
We will have on 4 satellites, 7 beams that are able to take care of over 90% of the shipping lanes in the world.
Is the launcher access issue still one that keeps you up at night or not?
Access to space is vitally important to a satellite services company, that goes without saying. We feel a bit better that it looks like Sea Launch is going to emerge from bankruptcy and be a viable competitor to Arianespace and ILS.
The Space Data Association, which Intelsat basically started on its own, then got SES and Inmarsat involved. It's a way of getting satellite operators to work together on where their satellites are and what frequencies they're using and what their users look like to prevent interference.
We contracted with a disinterested third party to manage the data.
Right.
We incorporated on the Isle of Man, so it's not in anyone's jurisdiction or country where we principally operate. And it allows operators to come into the fold so that they can very safely share data, not only for interference purposes, although that's absolutely key, but also for space situational awareness, so dealing with debris in space. We have to fix this interference problem. We cannot do it our own. We need to come together as an industry. We need to come together with our vendor partners.
Your Intelsat General IGC division, they do more than just sell satellite bandwidth now. They're going downstream to the value added, which is a new revenue source, but is also lower margin.
It's about getting closer to the customer, making sure that we're relevant and important to them. We listen to what our customers want. They're asking us to do more.
Dave, I appreciate your time. Thanks for being here. And thank you all for watching.